Hey, greetings from Greece. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Download the Uplift. My name is Gabriel Mark. I am one of your hosts reporting from I've been a desperado in West Texas for so long. Lord, I need a change. Joined as always by my co-host that likes going in a parade on a float, Dane Davis.
And that was a stretch, but we made it back home. you made it happen.
Thanks. Thanks, bro. You know, I made an album, so I just like to think on my feet, bro. Just sometimes I get into battle raps, and you got to be quick on your feet with that stuff, man.
Yeah, dude, like a real MC. I like it.
Do you remember when 8 Mile came out? Actually, because you might have been. No, you weren't too young for 8 Mile, right?
No, I watched it.
Well, the whole thing about that movie was they battle. So then, like, kids across the country, whether you're from the suburbs, the hood, wherever the heck you're from, yo, let's battle. And it's always to Mobb Deep Shook Ones. If you haven't heard that instrumental, it's awesome. It's on my playlist in the gym. But yeah. I remember this is me, like, what, 18? And like I just had like I just had beer or something, or like smearing off ices, like, yo, we're going to a party. And I had probably 2 of them hammered. And like I remember got in front of the crowd, couldn't put 2 words together, and I failed miserably. So that was my battle rapping experience.
Yep. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were in a battle rap before.
That's right, ladies, and I'm still single.
I don't know how you are.
Have you ever been in a battle rap, or do you know anything about battle rapping?
I've been in the presence of a battle rap. I haven't been in a battle rap though.
Where was it?
On the schoolyard.
For real?
yeah, multiple.
Where did the beat? Oh, it's just like a cappella.
Yeah. Oh, that's everyone, right? They just go like.
Oh no! You need some like I said, Mobb Deep Shook Ones. I don't want. Well, we're not even monetized, so I don't know why I'm worried about being demonetized. But I would play it, but I don't have it queued up. Well, anyways, Dane, this is Download the Uplift, a place where when we fall, you and I, and sometimes a guest, we try and uplift our audience and each other. And speaking of guests, next week we have a special, we're going to call it mystery guest for the time being until everything's super duper confirmed. But look forward to having a guest on Download the Uplift next week, brother. Are you stoked?
Hell yeah, man.
Here's the thing. You guys love it. I know I keep talking about this freaking Kenny episode. It's been out for 3 days as we're recording this. Yeah, we're going to be like 3 weeks ahead, y'all. And it has like 63 views. So thank you to all the new subscribers. And thank you for everyone that took time, because there's so much content being thrown at us. And you guys took the time to actually sit and either listen or watch our content, and wholeheartedly, like 100%, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
We do. It ain't easy for us to show up and talk in such an eloquent way. But for real, guys, do us a favor. If you're listening to this, stop what you're doing. Absolutely pulverize that like button, and make sure, what should they do with the subscribe button, Dane?
Annihilate it.
Should they annihilate, or give us like a medal?
Eviscerate.
Yes, come on. Yes, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, do all that cool stuff, because guess what, dude? I guess I'm part of the YouTube family now. It is really important to us, and it helps us a bit, especially Spotify. No one listens to us on Spotify. Go listen on Spotify too, and subscribe there. Subscribe everywhere. Either way, enough pandering, because you guys are awesome. Let's get on with the show. So we have a special guest coming next week. I'm super stoked about that. We already said like and subscribe. Anything going on? See, I got to tell you, I got to be reasonable and honest with our audience. The last couple of weeks, Dan and I have been filming Tuesday and Thursdays, and I love him and he loves me, but it's like, all right, that's enough of talking to each other.
We'll eventually run out of things, but
no, I honestly don't think so.
Yeah, when we were in the studio, and that was like for days in a row. Like we didn't run out of things to talk about. So
Right.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
we're good.
Hmm.
Maybe after like 5 years.
Maybe. Well, I can't wait till the time when we can have a guest every week. I'm stoked for that, but one day at a time. Yo, check this out. I gotta just hop right into breaking news. Oh, I need a but like like a news flash, not just a party horn. You got any cool sound?
I mean, let's see what I got.
Download the Uplift breaking news. I can't believe what I heard. So I was on X just browsing around like I do, coming up with some stuff. Actually, this wasn't even show prep. This was me just kind of doing my thing. Yo, the timeless tradition of Southwest Airlines offering um, open seating is going to be coming to an end. Southwest Airlines is going to be going to a choose your seat format. They've apparently, since like the inception of Southwest, if you don't know, basically you check in or you buy early bird check in 24 hours before your flight's supposed to leave. And the earlier you do that, you get put in a boarding group. And there's like, priority or whatever. But then there's like boarding group A, B, C, D. And each one has like 60 people in it. And it's open seating. So you want to be in boarding group A because you get to go on and either do a window or an aisle. If you're a psycho, a middle seat. And they're getting rid of it. Right off the bat, just quickly, what do you think of that, bro?
So that's what like basically every other airline is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're wanting to make more money. Basically, they're wanting people to pay for like the optimal seats and stuff like that. One thing I'll say that's nice about choosing your seat beforehand is that you don't have to worry about boarding groups or getting there before everyone else and making a mad rush for it. But yeah, that sucks. I don't really fly Southwest that much though. But
Oh, really? See,
yeah,
they have like the most domestic. I feel like domestic airports that they service the most domestically.
yeah,
But okay, so they're not getting rid of the bags fly free. It seems like everyone charges for bags now. But even though I'll shout out Chase. He's gonna be joining us at one of these shows. But he's like, bro, just carry on. I love carrying on. I'm down with that. But
yeah.
you nailed it, dude. It's a money grab. And what they say, it's the less democratic way. But exactly. Yo, I need an aisle seat. Because I pee 17 times a flight. But also you get that left or right. No, it's always your left leg. You get the extra leg room. You're the gatekeeper. That's what I tell people. And I'm very clear with everyone in the row. I'm like, hey guys, even if I'm sleeping, I am a good gatekeeper. If you need to go get up, no worries, bro. You won't get a judgmental look. I am a good aisle guy. Some aisle people will think it's like an issue. Like if you have to get up, it's like, no, dude, you don't understand. This is where you are. You should have done the window if you don't want to like be disturbed, right?
Yeah, for sure. I used to be a window guy for a while because I like looking out the window and then you can just lean against the plane, you know,
Mm-hmm. That's
until
nice.
the wall falls off and then you get sucked out.
Oh my goodness.
But I changed my mind to being an aisle guy. I think that's where it's at. Just the freedom to walk and not bother people, right? Because some
Mm-hmm.
people you go like, don't want to wake them up or disturb them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like the aisle seats for sure.
Do you think there's anyone that actually, maybe someone that's like really afraid of flying or something, they would like the middle seat? Because maybe, I don't, there's no way someone actually likes the middle seat, right? I mean,
But no,
there's no way. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
like it's fine if you're with family.
Yes.
Yeah, and most of the times, like when I've flown, it's been like family trips and stuff like that. I think it's been like a handful of times that I've been in the middle seat without family and just with strangers and stuff like that. But yeah, the aisle is definitely the way to go. And for me, when I fly like American Airlines, if they offer very cheap first class, I'm all about that.
Oh yeah, I think we
Grab
brought
that
that up
meeting.
before. Good for you, man. Hey,
Yeah.
nothing but martinis and Rolls Royces for my co-host. God bless.
Well, yeah, they offer it for like maybe $100 extra,
Of course.
100 to $200, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be comfortable.
There was a dude. I've been stuck in the middle because in my lifetime, 39 years on God's beautiful earth, I've flown a lot. I remember in 2011. It was like this is what I was in Vegas as a tourist, so got flying back to Boston, and this is when you're in Vegas as a tourist. We went over it a couple weeks ago. It's literally party 2 days straight, but it was like party 3 days straight, nonstop. And it wasn't even hungover. Yo, you're coming down from this music, no sleep, party, yo, to the point where it was a middle sweaty seat all the way to Chicago for the layover. And I
Yeah.
remember I was so delirious after this, going through probably withdrawals, red hot, but with the chills at the same time. And I was sitting in O'Hare to get on the connecting flight. And I was like, yo, is that the Grim Reaper? Because there was like a priest walking down. And I don't mean this in a blasphemous way, Lord. I promise. But I thought because I was so delirious, I thought like the Reaper was coming to get me. I was like, well, this is it. I guess I died in an airport. This is how it goes down.
Wow.
So I don't know how I got to such a sketchy subject, but dude, like the flying stinks in the middle seat. But either way, Southwest, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know.
Were you like lightheaded and
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude. When you're not feeling good and burning up and you like feel like you're gonna pass out, that sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Imagine there really was, because I sent you that clip about Joe Rogan talking about live every day like there's a camera crew following you around, and it's like he's kind of being like, what would you want people to see? But bro, man, there's some years from I don't know, 2007 to where we're at today. It'd be hard to watch, but somehow God's good graces, I made it, and I'm here with my homie on a podcast doing better than ever. But it's just like, yo, it's crazy, man. But just to close out the Southwest thing, like you said, it's a money grab. I like the fact that you can secure an aisle seat.
Yeah.
Bags still fly free.
I don't know if you remember this, or maybe it wasn't like every theater, but do you remember when theaters used to be open seating?
They're not open seating anymore?
A lot of them aren't anymore. And
Maybe
maybe it's the special like ones with the recliner and everything.
Oh
But,
yeah.
yeah, but so those have always been reserved seating. But I think like regular theaters now are going to an assigned seating based thing. And in fact, yeah, like because there's that whole thing of like I don't know, I saw a meme or whatever where it was like an empty theater and there's like two people with seats right in the middle of the theater, and then this guy like books the seat right next to them. Just to be awkward.
Excuse me.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna join you guys for your movie.
What's that?
But yeah, dude, it's all that stuff's kind of changing to reserve seating, which it's good in a way, and in other ways, it's yeah.
What's the one in Vegas? I think it's called Galaxy on Sunset. I think I went to one movie there, but dude, comment down below. What was the last movie you actually saw in the theaters? Or like one, dude, I never, it's been the last one was Top Gun Maverick. Amazing movie. And then,
yeah, man.
And then the one before that was the new Batman with the vampire kid. What's his name?
Yeah.
Paddington Bear. Comment down below that you're a wolf or a vampire dreamboat lover.
And if you're mad at us because we don't know what his name is, we're sorry.
I thought he did good as Batman. He caught a lot of hate. I thought that movie was all right. It was long. It was all right. Did you watch that one?
Honestly, like him, yeah, I did watch it, but him and other movies, I think he's pretty good. But I think like you also have to be into that kind of a movie. Is it 50 Shades of Grey that's based off of Twilight, or is it Twilight?
Dude, 50 Shades of Grey is like a sketchy, like erotic book. And
yeah,
then,
but Twilight One of the two is based on the other.
I don't think.
Twilight's basically an erotic novel, but it's just
Listen, this is you guys, you the audience, you guys are in on this one. I watched Top Gun Maverick. I watched Jets in America. That's what I want.
I I didn't watch Twilight. I watched half of the first movie and I was like, the baseball scenes are right. That's that's about it.
What movie did I? Oh, dude, this is an unpopular opinion. So, comment down below and a middle finger emoji. I didn't think American Psycho was that great. I know it's like supposedly like Oscars and Christian Bale's brilliant. The movie came out in 2000. I watched it on Sunday. I was like, okay, this is like, I've heard it's amazing. There were some cool scenes, but like, I don't get it. Was he really crazy? I don't know. Did he really kill people?
Was he really a psycho?
I don't know. I don't know. But
well, so I haven't seen American Psycho, so this is like a plot twist.
Well, check it out. Maybe you'd like it. You get deep with that stuff. It's on Netflix.
The only thing with American Psycho that I absolutely love rewatching is the business card scene where he's like, "Oh my god."
See, if you type it on YouTube, business card scene, that's all that comes up. Because I literally, after I was done with the movie, I was so dumbfounded. I was like, I typed in American Psycho explained. And apparently it was a book. But yo, Christian Bale, shout out. You're a great actor, and you're still driving a Toyota Tacoma because you're a real one. But I don't know. I didn't get it. So send me the little emoji because I'm wrong. Just a little middle finger emoji or thumbs down if you want to keep it more PG. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Christian Bale is crazy. Like, what was the movie where he slimmed down to nothing? Like he was just a skeleton. It was right before Batman.
Was it really before he got all buff?
Yeah. So he got done with that movie where I think he was the skinniest he's ever been. And then he just had to bulk up and crazy that he can do that. It's like, it's super
no way
dedicated. It's not.
The machine.
It's not, but I want to say.
No, it's The Machinist. I just looked it up.
Oh, yeah, The Machinist.
Dang, he was skinny. Let's pull a picture. So just tilt your phone sideways on Spotify. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's see what he looks like. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh, this is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, like no muscle at all.
Oh, I'm gonna share it right now. Yikes, dude. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
that looks nothing like Batman. So in London, the Respace social enterprise is transforming empty buildings into valuable community resources, providing space for various social activities and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. Like just repurposing old buildings. It happens a lot in Vegas as well. It's quite popular here, where there's companies that come in, and obviously they're real estate investment companies basically, where they'll buy out old properties that are like meaningful to the city, and then try and revamp them. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not. But yeah, like I've never heard of the organization, but Respace in London is trying to revamp some old empty buildings, which I think
I love that.
Yeah.
In Rhode Island, where you came to visit, that part of the country is such an old part of the country. A lot where the Industrial Revolution, and there's a lot of mills with like little kids working in them, like get to work. It was crazy times in the 1800s or whatever it was. But those old mills, I actually lived in an apartment called Rising Sun Mills, and they turned them into like loft apartments. But dude, that place had some weird energy, man. Like you could like feel it when you went in there. You're like, I know I have like this granite countertop, but bro, something went down in this like area of the factory.
Yeah. Well, before labor laws and all that stuff came to be, like people were jumping out of factories, like not to get dark, but
yeah. And safety laws, dude, like looms and stuff, or whatever, the shuttle. People are just like, or like steam, like Jay Leno has his steam motors, like just people getting caught up. Man, It was a crazy time, the Industrial
Yeah.
Revolution. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like anything, there's going to be stuff to like work out. Like when it's a new kind of deal, when we're producing production lines like never before, you know, there's always going to be mishaps, and it's like, oh, okay, well, like this is a better way of doing it, to avoid those accidents, and also making sure that companies are held accountable and they're not just trying to skimp out and cut costs for the detriment of their employees. Yeah,
Mm.
and that wasn't regulated or even a thing back then. So
Well, I mean, there's still, I mean, in the good old US of A, that stuff really doesn't fly. But you mentioned people hopping out of buildings. Isn't it in China, like where they make iPhones or some kind of tech? They had to put nets around it because these people went so crazy. In China, they have the 996 working system. It's
yeah,
9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, bro. That's so, yo, I know I'm like, I don't know, bro. Editing's getting tough, but I'm like, yo, at least I'm still at home. Like, like, so you gotta understand, like, that's crazy. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about other than that sucks.
not yeah. I work about those amount of hours, sometime, give or take, um, each week, but that's partly my choosing and stuff like that. But to have that be like mandatory, and then just like the pay rate and everything there, like to work that many hours, and it's crazy. Like I know there's all kinds of like philosophies around like trying to earn more money. People will say like, well, just work more and get two jobs and stuff like that. But you know, I don't think that's the point of life. And I mean, I think you should be able to support yourself on one job and hopefully only take at least like at the most a third of your life up. That's kind of the dream, right?
Mm,
I would even love it if there was a 4 10s out of the week and you have a 3 day weekend.
mm,
I think that would be even better, because then it's same amount of work, same amount of time spent, but then you get 3 days off. And I think it's important, like even if you're working less, like if you even work 4 hours in one day, it's a half day, but it still kind of like messes with your whole day because you're
oh
still
yeah,
working.
different mindset and everything.
Yeah.
Like you're in work mode, and then, like to get up to that and then come down from that, it's real. You ain't lying.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, same
And
thing.
6 days mandatory. That's horrible.
It's a different breed, man. That's a different it's a different thing going on. Even, well, I heard from truckers. So here's the thing: if you're an over the road trucker, an OTR trucker, for every 6 to 7 days you're out on the road anywhere in the lower 48 states, you get 1 day of home time. So that alone is crazy. Like, listen, there's some people that like to be away, and you earn a lot of money. Well, you're earning some money depending on your experience and your gig. But I've heard from a lot of them that like, bro, if I could just be out for 2 weeks and then be home for 2 weeks, I would do that all day because you need to be home. Like, I don't know, but the work-life balance, we've talked about that, and you brought up it stinks, man. We all need to be like Spain. Is it, imagine that kind of a like difference, or like the contradict, not, is it contradiction? Not contradiction.
Contrast.
Contrast. Ooh, my
Yeah.
man. The contrast between like the Chinese working schedule and the España working, like they're like, yo, let's drink some wine. It's midday, baby. And the
Yeah.
other ones are working their butt off, man. And okay, so maybe someone has a higher GDP or whatever, but yo, like they're tan, hooking up, drinking wine, and not like, what I mean? I don't know. Listen, I'm not saying anything about it and anything, all right? But that's wild.
Yeah, it's how other countries are. And it sounds horrible to us because we don't have to have that. And even like the working conditions in the United States, they're not perfect, but we're
Right.
very lucky, right? And some people at this point are even working from home, and bless you for that, because like Yeah, who wouldn't love working from home? It's normal there to have that working life, and so it's expected.
That's a good point.
Um,
They don't know anything else. You know, like that's how
yeah,
they're raised. That it's normal.
or even them knowing that the United States 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, 40 hours of work a week. But even them knowing that, they might say something like they don't work as hard
Lazy
or whatever.
Americans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. And what I want to say is, it's absolutely not true. Like Americans, it's usually set as like a full time job is 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, and 8 hours a day. But it's rarely ever that case. That especially if you start getting a salary, it's never that case. It's always overtime. So
Mm.
yeah.
Uh, quick, quick. Just it has to be noted, man. It's massive. So, the number one podcast for a long time was the Joe Rogan Experience, but today, he's actually been replaced by Tucker Carlson. So Tucker Carlson was a dude on Fox News, and they fired him because he said something crazy, and they're like, "All right, get out of here." And he's decided to start a podcast, and I didn't know it was that big. Dude just passed Joe Rogan. I just thought it needed to be noted because as podcasters, you kind of like watch what's going on and stuff, and but like I thought Joe Rogan was like untouchable, but to see a dude be like he got fired, he's like, all right, I'm gonna do my own thing. That's a wild thing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's all over the place on like Facebook and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. Because here's the thing, I usually watch shorts more than I watch like whole format videos.
Mhm.
But yeah, I see him all over the place. I haven't really watched like too much of his stuff, but yeah, that I didn't think he would be able to take over Joe Rogan either.
Those
I
numbers are
I don't know what
crazy,
his
dude.
goal
I
was.
don't even know like what's a typical view count. Like I wouldn't even know. Hold on there. Average, Joe Rogan viewership. He has 16.5 million subscribers. Total
Mhm.
views 3.49 billion. That's as of April 2024. Uh, I don't know. Either way,
Like a year or
I
in total?
there was like a bunch of conflicting numbers and some were years old. But just so you know, Joe Rogan and Tucker, a lot of people listen to them. Let me see. We do have to eventually get into the main thing. I did want to say one more thing. Oh yeah, AFTRA, SAG, like like the union for actors,
Oh,
Screen
yeah.
Actor Guild Awards or whatever.
Yeah.
Turns out that video game performers have just called strike against gaming companies as well. So last year, you might wonder like how some of your favorite shows were taking a long time to come out with new seasons because there was a writer's strike or an actor's strike. And it all revolves around AI because they're like, yo, you're taking my image or my job's getting replaced by AI. So apparently now it's moved to video games as well. So, actors and performers in the union SAG have declared a strike against video game companies. Starting on Friday, members of the union will stop any voice acting, motion capture work, stunts, and more that appear in video games. It has
Mm,
been negotiating with companies including Activision, EA, WB Games, Disney for over a year and a half. The use of AI in video game development has become a central issue in negotiations. Quote,
mm.
we're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to determine for our members. Enough is enough. End quote. SAG after President Fran Drescher. So basically, yeah, AI, man, just taking over everything. Crazy.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So anyone who's a voice actor and the AI faces like deep fakes and stuff like that, they're definitely going to become like a huge thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then voice actors, like there's all kinds of platforms where people can either sell their voices or they like sign up and then they get like a bit of a royalty every time someone like uses it or downloads something. But that's going to become a huge problem eventually. Like in a way, it's like someone who's not a professional voice actor could build this AI voice clone of themselves and make like extra money on the side.
Hmm.
You could argue that point, but for like a professional voice actor, yeah, that's like hugely detrimental. And it's not like it was 4 years ago. Like the voices that are generated by AI today are actually really, really good. And then the other thing on top of that, which ChatGPT actually got in trouble for, is famous voices can just get cloned from their videos on YouTube or like their movies or interviews or any of that stuff.
Yikes.
So, yeah, I think it was Scarlett Johansson who took legal action against ChatGPT. I don't know what happened with that, but I do know that my ChatGPT voice got changed from Scarlett Johansson's, quote unquote, to a different one. So I think they backed off of that voice, and it was a nice voice. She has a great voice. Um, like that's the one I picked. But yeah, I don't know how people are going to deal with all this stuff legally. And beyond that, like when the technology gets so good that you don't even really need anyone to base that AI voice off
Mm,
of or that
right.
AI person, like that image. I don't know. Will acting be a thing of the past or actors be a thing of the past? Will people who do voiceovers be a thing of the past? Yeah, that it's gonna get weird for sure. And again, there's a positive side to it. It's like you as a person without any budget could create your idea, your video game, your movie, or whatever
Mhm.
it is, at the cheapest that it's ever been, and do like these crazy high production things by yourself in your room. And people are really doing that. But I think what ends up happening is like there's a huge saturation of creators and stuff like that, and it gets diluted. So that's a negative of it. But the person who doesn't have the power and the finance and the position to hire actors, to have a big studio, to have a bunch of like programmers and stuff like that, can now do more than ever to like get their ideas out there. So it's awesome in that way, but it also is something that we need to really like pay attention to and make sure that we're not like putting a bunch of people who've dedicated their lives to these crafts
Mhm.
out of business, because you got to evolve with the times and all that stuff. But it's still like, yeah, there's some brilliant minds, and it's kind of crazy and sad to look at people struggling for work, even like even programmers struggling
Mhm.
for work right now. And they're brilliant people. They know a bunch about computers and a bunch about their programming languages.
Well,
Yeah.
you mentioned it when this comes out 2 weeks ago when you talked about that weird Elon Musk Bitcoin for Bitcoin scam, and that was probably a lot of AI and stuff like that. So, plus, not only is it people uh, getting out of work, but also like evildoers, like scamming people with it. So, it's definitely scary stuff. But a lot of those people that have bad stuff going on, they might not have purpose.
They have
No, but
purpose.
they do. Yeah, their purpose is to scam. So I
Yeah.
didn't really work that well.
They've got bad purpose.
Yeah. uh, well, what happens is if a lot of these people get out of work, then maybe they'll just feel like they're lacking any kind of purpose anymore. Which brings us to our quote of the week. So, quote of the week. I'm gonna pass this one over to Dane Davis. Here we go. Quote of the week.
All right, let me try to get my speaking voice on. The quote of the week: "The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away." Pablo Picasso.
Thoughts?
I like it. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, that's what an artist does, right? I'm not surprised it's Pablo Picasso.
Oh, I should say to our audience, our lesson of the week or whatever our subject matter for mental awesomeness is going to be called we're titling this one The Power of Purpose. And I looked through a few quotes thanks to ChatGPT because I'm always like, yo, what do you think? And she always gives me a bunch of options. And it came up the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So even if your gift is like you're a heck of a John Deere tractor salesman, your purpose is to
Give
slang
John Deere
those John
tractors
Deere
away.
tractors, right?
You give those John Deere tractors away, and you're this amazing salesperson. Everyone wants to buy from you because it's free.
Yes. You're helping people out with their crops or their lawns, and you're helping other people along. So this subject matter came up because listen, we all got a lot going on. We all do. And I know firsthand that there was a point in my life when I didn't have a lot going on. And it's actually a Benjamin Franklin quote. I didn't know it went all the way back that the idle hands are the devil's playthings, a quote by Benjamin Franklin. And it's so true, man. Like when you lack purpose, it's just, bro, your mood is going to be down. Your vibe, that's right, is going to be down. But also you're going to get, it's possible that you're going to get into some mischief. Dude, I was drinking every day, all day, hanging out with weirdos, spending dumb money because I had no purpose. Like stuff was already set up. And now, dude, like, yo, my day, like Dana and I were talking, about the show before we went live or whatever, we started recording. And, the day's filled up. But, I still have a smile on my face because I have purpose.
Yeah.
It's tackled at stuff.
I think it's great that in that quote it says idle, right? Because it's like if you're not actively engaging in your life and you're on autopilot, right? And just everything that comes your way, you get distracted. You're going for like it allows for you to lack focus in life and therefore not get as far as you could have. And it's something that I battle a lot is actually not just being spread too thin, not having my mind wander in too many different directions. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot of people these days, I think, and especially because we're bombarded with so much information. Yeah, not to get too deep into it, but a lot of people are like getting diagnosed with like ADD and ADHD and stuff like that these days. And it's it's completely valid and everything when you're diagnosed with it and to seek help for it and all that stuff. But I think also on top of that, there is something to say about the fact that we're more connected than ever and we're bombarded with information more than ever. We're more accessible than we've ever been. Anyone can call us, text us, send us a message on Facebook, like everything. And there's so much information just even on your phone, on on this device, all the notifications you get every single day. If you don't try and structure your life and have it be purposeful and actually take control of it, exactly what that quote says, if you're idling by, it's a mess. It's a mess, especially now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get worse. We're overloaded all the time, except the one thing you should do is have a priority in making sure you subscribe to download the uplift. Make sure that's the one piece of information that you're taking in. But,
and also, you might find purpose in journaling.
Oh,
Because I knew you were going to bring it up at some point.
I actually didn't even think about that, but that would help you to help find it. Because so let's say you wake up and you're bumming out about everything going on right now. Like, how do we find purpose? Maybe think about stuff you're passionate about, and it can be something like, okay, I'm really passionate about playing video games. Well, maybe find a way to make that be helpful to your life and maybe make that a purpose. Like say, okay, all your bills are paid. Well, trust me, boys and girls, I had a flat white 911 Porsche, everything I could possibly want. I was probably the most self-destructive person I ever could have been because I had zero purpose. And then when you get faced with adversity and you get faced with, oh, shoot, stuff isn't working out, and you find a passion that you're into, it really will drastically change your mindset and the way you just look at the world. Even though it's not
Yeah.
as glamorous as it might look from outside looking in, I don't know. I think it's if you don't have something to have a purpose in life, then you need to do some soul searching. You do need to be practicing mindfulness stuff. You need to be journaling, meditating. But I mean, even to get away from all that, you need to find a passion you're all about. Even it's like, yo, I'm really passionate about sleeping in. Okay, well, maybe you can help people that are insomniacs, how you really rest. I don't know. It's hard for us to sit here and be like, well, dude, just go find something. But without something to chase after and without something to drive you, then we're just waiting till the end. I mean, I know it's a little grim way to think about it, but you need it, bro. I mean, it can't just be about starting chasing the almighty dollar, because that stuff does not bring you happiness. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's not.
Purpose is fulfilling, and if you're just working all day and you go home and that's it, like it can become just like this routine that you're not like enjoying your life. And let's say you're not passionate about any kind of hobby, or you're not passionate about like a side gig, you're not passionate about any of that stuff, right? You could be passionate about like traveling, going and seeing places, learning, reading books, like anything like that can be like something that drives you. But purpose is definitely something that is more core to who you are. It's like, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to think about when they think about you, when they say your name? That that's really like it's a core piece of your identity in a lot of ways, is like finding that purpose.
Mm,
On top of that, like even if you're struggling to find purpose, I think that you can still benefit from living your life more purposefully.
mm-hmm.
So even if it's not an exact thing, but just sort of life in general, like declutter your life, try fix some things in your life where that are causing you stress and stuff like that. You have to be purposeful about it. And then
Good point.
um, once you make changes and stuff, you have to be very careful not to revert back to those things. Like I'll give you an example of like a hoarder. A hoarder has a cluttered mess all throughout their house. They might eventually fix that and be like, I need to be purposeful about, I need to get rid of this stuff, regardless of like what it means to me, what I think it's going to have in the future, what value it's going to have. The purpose is I need to declutter my life. And you get rid of everything, you clean your house, all that's great. Well, now you need to make sure that you don't fall back into that. So you need to, again, be purposeful every time, like you're buying something that doesn't have like an exact use for you. That's maybe just like trinket or something that's going to lay
Emu.
around. What's that?
I said Temu, just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
garbage you don't need.
Yeah, anytime you're buying something that's like not a necessity, that you're not going to use for a hobby or for your business idea or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
you need to really look at that and be like, do I want to buy this? Like, what's it going to do?
Is it
It's
going
going
to
to,
add to my life?
yeah,
Like,
it's going to sit there and do nothing.
right.
So,
Oh, bro, I'm like with Amazon, like I'm like, do I really need a new t-shirt? Like I just donated one, or do I need, but some stuff like, okay, I need new puppy pads for Winston, like a chair.
yeah.
There's a lot of hours in this chair. I think I need a chair soon. This is like my back hurts. And but shoot, I was reckless. Hey, you know what we needed? It was 40-30 racks and every trinket at the 7-Eleven counter.
It
Oh,
was
shoot.
needed for sure.
Oh, of course. No, I mean,
We got some pictures from the gram, or for the gram. So.
man, it's so I also think that you need to, like you mentioned the hoarder thing, but you need to mention and always like document to yourself somehow, whether you're writing it down or recording little voice notes or just making a mental note of how much better you feel. Like right now, I'm getting in physically fit. We're working on creative stuff, different things going on, and I'm always noting how I feel right now. Because like you said, you got to stay at, because it's easy to fall back into being a mess for anybody. I don't care who you are. Anyone can slip. Something tragic happens in their lives. They have a big maybe they get laid off, maybe their girl leaves them or whatever, whoever leaves them. Like it's easy to slip back into being a nightmare because we're just human. But
Yeah.
so when you are on top, or or at least you're chasing a goal and you have that purpose and you have that drive, be like, dude, I feel freaking great about this. Or if you're a hoarder and your house got cleaned out, be like, it's nice to be able to go to the counter and make a meal.
Yeah.
Because, oh, dude, you're right, man. I've seen that show. Like 2 weeks later, it's already starting in the corners and they're starting to get stuff again. It's super sad.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I struggle with that kind of stuff. Like every change that I try and make, I'm always reverting back, and I have to remind myself, like, hey, stop. Like
mhm,
you, and the amount of work it takes to fix a problem like that, like, and it doesn't have to just be hoarding, it can be anything in your life. But
mhm,
the amount of work it takes to fix a major problem in your life is huge. And then once you fix it and you start going back to it, like you're just building up the same exact magnitude of a problem. And then
mhm,
you're going to be like, it's daunting. I can't get rid of this stuff. And
mhm,
and you fall back into that cycle. And I think a lot of people, when they're trying to solve big issues in their life, they love the high of like solving the problem and being at a place where everything's organized, everything's neat, and your life is like put together. And you're flush with money, you have no worries, right? Everyone loves that. But the problem with being too comfortable with that, or like having the expectation of always having that, is that it's a temporary position in your life where
mhm,
where nothing's wrong, everything's great, and you have to savor those moments, but also realize that the more time goes on, the more issues are going to start stacking up that you need to be paying attention to. Otherwise,
mhm.
you end up with the same problem.
That's true too. Do you think that having other people counting on you for whatever purpose you're setting out in life is helpful? Because I do.
Mm,
And I think it's like, okay, now this is I use the example of this channel because it's a big part of my life, our life right now. But now,
yeah,
like I'm at the point where now I have a lot of people checked in, like, yo, he's really doing this, or we're really doing this. To fall off at this point would be like, yo, it almost be like I'm letting people down. And I think that that helps drive the purpose of Download the Uplift. For at least me, it's like now
I
people are like, yo, it's Monday. Where's the new episode? Like, even if it's a couple cats that are like, dude, what's going on?
yeah.
That's my purpose now, is to build a really good show and really good content for people. And people are looking, somebody knows that I've been telling somebody that's coming out. So I think, what do you
Yeah.
think? Other people?
No, for sure. I think what a lot of people actually struggle with is um, being motivated for themselves and having a purpose within themselves.
100%.
Um, I think I've been lucky because I've always been driven by ideas that I have, and it's almost I think I've said this to you, and I might have said it on the podcast as well. But it's almost like it's almost negative sometimes, like having just ideas pop up, because it becomes like another thing that I really want to get done, and you know it detracts from all the other stuff that I'm already trying to do.
Mhm.
So I have to be careful about that, because again, like idle hands, devil's playground, right?
Big time.
So having having other people as well to be part of that purpose is really great for me, because like everything that I'm doing right now is partly for other people in my life. I want it to be,
Amen.
even if it's not right now. But it is also that I just love doing it, and I'm just obsessed with the things that I do. But it definitely helps having that outside reason for doing things, purpose for doing things. And yeah, that's why people, when they have families, they have children and stuff like that, a
Mm,
lot of people just get their stuff together,
big time.
yeah, so
Yeah. I think Ken, I don't know if we really went into it I don't know, maybe a little bit, but any of my boys that are married, especially, but once they have kids, it's like your world changes when you see like you, and we've heard about that in pop culture and everything since day one.
Yeah.
But just to circle back one more time, like another example is it's crazy, man. Like when I was in Vegas, not caring really about like my weight and stuff. Dude, Vegas, if you don't know, has every kind of cuisine under the planet, like whatever kind of food, especially 808 Hawaiian food. If you want Thai food, if you want, chicken parms. But there was a time when I was so, flushed with just being wasteful about stuff and not caring about myself really. It's just I wanted whatever would make me feel good, that I was just overwhelmed by too much of it. Like, do I want Mexican food? Do I want chicken parm at Bootleggers again? Do I want this? And it sounds weird because now it's something special to me. Like, oh, dude, like if you and I went to Bootleggers, first of all, it's like $40 for chicken parm, but it would be special. But I'm like with no purpose and like trying to keep yourself fit or keeping a budget, you're like, there's too much. It's gluttony. And it's I don't even know if that really plays into purpose, but it's just something that made me think of, oh, like the purpose is stay fit. And one more thing before you hop in is, bro, you need to reassure yourself. Like, I have a goal weight in my mind. I know what I want to be. But they say any kind of fitness guru, anyone that helps you motivate you to working out, they say getting there is tremendously harder than maintaining it. So once I get to that place where I want to be, it's like, all right, maybe we can settle down with the diet, still work out, but don't blow it. I mean, what's the rate of people that gain weight and get unhealthy again because they hit their weight and they're like, I guess I'm done, but that's not it. You got to continue. Maybe not as intense, but the purpose for me right now is, okay, bro, get yourself healthy, but then you can ease back a little bit. So,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier is like people have that goal weight and they achieve it and they celebrate it and you deserve it. You should. But then they sort of like ease back on the gas pedal a bit, right? And then start falling back into old patterns. And eventually, let's say like you reach your goal weight and then like a month later or whatever, you're 10 pounds heavier and you're like, oh geez, like
easy to do, especially for a 39-year-old Italian.
Yeah, dude. And it's a slippery slope. And that's what I struggle with in life. And I feel a lot of people do, where it's like just getting it in your head that like everything that you're trying to do in your life needs to be maintained. It's not something that you achieve and then it's always yours. So, like having that purpose and keeping that purpose in your mind. Once you achieve that, fitness goal, once you achieve whatever goal you have, you still need to work at like keeping it. And you owe it to yourself to keep working at it, to keep it.
And maintaining that becomes the new purpose. I wonder how many times we said purpose. Comment down below. And make sure you like this video, subscribe.
50 times.
Hit the notification bell. Shameless plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's but I try, and when we do talk about stuff like this, I try and think of someone like what's the negative minded people? Is it pessimist or is it
pessimist?
Like someone that's literally like, yo, who do these kids think they're talking to? Like, I had to wake up, bust my butt, or no good kids, and a wife that hasn't even laid eyes on me since '93. What do these kids know? Maybe, I don't know what. That's a very disgruntled individual at 93. Dang, you got to move on, bro. Or go to counseling. Listen to more, download the uplift. But it's like I try and think of it through people's eyes, but I'm just saying, like, there are ways to get out of the rut and find something that you dig. And like I said, even if it is playing freaking Call of Duty, maybe set up a camera and start streaming yourself, or maybe start writing something up, like a weekly blog about it. Or I'm trying to think of like most people, like, I just want to wake up, drink booze, play video games, and sleep. There's something in there. Start making things about booze and different hard seltzers. Like, make whatever you do into it, try and examine it, step back, imagine like an audience looking at it, or it doesn't have to necessarily be anything like social media. Just do something that will help get you out of that rut, man. Because we're here just trying to show love, baby. That's all. So that's me just saying to the audience, we're just showing love, man, and helpful advice.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, like, and I genuinely, like, if someone, I just go to my job, I work my job, I go home, pay my bills, and yeah, that's it, and I'm happy.
Mhm.
Uh, that's great, and don't don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If you're dissatisfied in some kind of way, then like you need to come up with a way of fixing that, or just fix it. So, because
Mhm.
some people, and myself included, spend way too much time planning to fix things. Coming up with a purpose, I think for most people will make you feel overall better. Like you'll feel like there's intention in your life, and I think so many people can benefit from that. And
Mm.
some people have already found something that they're passionate about, but then they
Mhm.
gave up because life happened. They didn't make it in the field that they originally wanted to be. It's like I'm a musician. Like that's how I started. I didn't make it as a drummer, or I haven't yet. And I haven't made it with any of the other instruments that I play, but I made it a purpose of mine to stick with the industry that I've grown in and that I know and that I'm good at, and did anything I could to be valuable in that industry.
Mm.
And I still love music. I still write music. I still play music and play all the instruments. But who knows where that's going to go? But I haven't given up on that dream and that purpose in life. Even if I don't make it, if I don't make a bunch of money off of it, if no one knows me for music, that's fine. I still love playing music and I still love doing it. So
Amen.
I think it's a benefit for every person to have that kind of a drive and everything. But even if you don't, that's all good. It's
Mm.
fine, right? Like just be happy in life, right? That can be a purpose.
Yeah. Hey, 100%. You probably summed it up a little bit better than me. But even like, okay, let's say back to your example. Say, dude, I don't know. I go to work and I come home. Well,
Mm,
guess what, man? Your purpose is you're providing for, even if you don't have a family or whatever, you're not providing for, you're providing for yourself, bro. That's your
yeah,
purpose. You are kicking butt and you're clocking in when a lot of people just gave up. A lot of
mm,
people decided to just, that is your purpose. If you're listening to this far, you're like, all right, your purpose is maybe you like hearing this stuff. So you're like, what kind of advice they got? So you're wanting to make those steps. But yeah, it doesn't have to be anything exotic. Yeah, you're right, dude. Like even if you're just going to work, bro, there's that, which is awesome. God bless you, helping the economy.
yep,
But yo, listen, you're providing um yourself a life, man, and that's awesome. When I was a mess, bro, I had nothing to do but get hammered all day, and it was a very sad existence, man. Like
mm,
I lost a lot of homies, which some people were ride or dies, but I mean, like you weren't even around. 2018 was bad, dude.
yeah,
It was destructive. And somehow God's grace, I made it out of it, bro. But I mean, you hear about it like rock stars, people that are extremely wealthy. It's just, dude, it really comes back to the idle hands thing. Even for people that are workaholics and then they're given like 2 weeks off. Some of them don't like it because I don't know what to do with myself. I'm gonna make some bad decisions. I'm just sitting here. But
yeah. If you don't figure out what you're really looking for, and again, we've gone back and forth, like could be you want to accomplish huge things, like you've got these big dreams and stuff like that, or it could just be like you just want to be happy, you want to live your life, experience things, kind of do what you want, roughly. Having like an intention of like establishing
mm,
what you actually want in your life, and what it all is going to mean at the end of it, I
mhm,
think will make people happier by the end of it. Like when you think back on your life and you think of what you've been doing for the past 10 years or the past 20 years, 30, 40 onward, being able to turn around and say like, yeah, I I lived, I controlled my life. I had purpose in it, and I fulfilled my goals and stuff like that. And they don't have to be big. It's sort of subjective, because what I was going to say as well is like some people might feel like their purpose is to bring joy to others, right?
Mm.
Like just and it doesn't have to be in a big way. It can just be like you're at work and you love seeing customers come through the door and seeing them smile and joke around with them, make them feel better about the day, right? Connect with them. That might be your purpose.
Love it.
And I was going to say, like, John, like from the moment I met you, I think that's been one of your bigger purposes, throughout everything. It's like you've had music and stuff like that, but you've also been great at just connecting with people and bringing people together. So,
oh, thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome, brother. I appreciate you, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. As long as we're drinking out of a tiki cup. Tiki check. I need another one. Like, I like.
And another one.
And another one. Oh, man. Well, I love it, bro. I think that's some solid info. Closing your mark, yo. Do some soul searching. And at the end of the day, man, the sun will rise. God loves you a lot. I think you're pretty swell too, and I think Dane does too. And yeah, man, I'm stoked for the future for everybody. If you're listening to this, not only you're supporting people, but you're hopefully getting some cool info. And yeah, man, that's about it, bro. I think just don't be a mess.
Don't be a mess.
But Dane, what about you?
Even if you don't journal every day, write it down. Like, I mean, I'm trying to get everything organized in my life. But writing things down, like, it has really helped. And then also, like I said, being able to like put it down and be like, these are the things that I want to focus on. And then everything else doesn't matter. It just helps you to declutter things and live your life with purpose.
I love it. Well, actually, today was my first entry in my new 50 center, my new journal. And what I write? I wrote 7/25/2024. And I wrote, "This is for you." I don't know why I wrote that. I was like, what do I want to write on this? And I was like, because I think of it when I do this, even if it feels like a pain in the butt sometimes, it's for me. It's for me to feel. And I'll tell you what, man, I live by it now at this point, and this one's college ruled, so it's thinner lines. But
nice.
It's super
more journaling.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, I'm about to go on this trip. That's why we're doing a couple weeks out, and we're gonna try and maintain this. But I'm going on this trip, and even though it's gonna be a Airbnb filled with maniacs, I'm gonna make it a purpose to I didn't mean to do that, but it's true. I'm gonna make it a purpose to sit out on the dock on the lake for 10 minutes before, even if people are already cracking beers at 7 a.m., I'll be joining them. But I'm gonna sit on the dock. I'm gonna put in my AirPods, put on noise cancellation. I'm gonna do a 10-minute meditation. I'm gonna do 50 push-ups. That's my purpose for the next 5 days. I won't be journaling on the dock. I don't need to go that far. I guess but yeah, that's my purpose, because when you do something to keep you, at least for me, so it doesn't turn into a complete S show, like I'm going to make it a point to do that. That's my purpose, is to do 50 push-ups a day and tune out for 10 minutes.
Nah, that's awesome, man. And being on a dock.
Oh, with the lake, ducks.
Yeah, it's going to be peaceful until like a fly or something buzzes by you, and then you're like, get out of here.
Or a beer can pass my head. Yo, Snow, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird because we're all like in our 30s, because I'm thinking it's probably be a lot more. Actually, who am I kidding, bro? We could be in our 50s and we'd rage out. But
for sure,
I'm stoked to get out to Vegas, man. It's almost been 10 months. That's so crazy. 9.5 months. Dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what else is gonna happen on the trip?
Yo, it's gonna be awesome. Hibachi. That's all. I don't even care about seeing everybody. I just want to get hibachi.
Yeah, you're like, nah.
What up, boys? Yo, could I get the onion volcano ×2?
You're just gonna sit in your own hibachi area.
Yo, my own chef.
Yeah.
Oh, that
You're
dude.
like,
Imagine.
hey, John, you want to hang out? And they're like, get out of here.
Yeah,
Get
it's good
out
to
of here.
see you guys. All right, go on with the volcano, please.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
I
better be
wonder.
a good volcano.
I'm sure, like with a couple, they do 2 people. But if you went in there and you're like, and there's no one else there, and you just want, like, I wonder if they'd still do the show.
Yeah, I think they would. It depends on where you go. And if there's absolutely no one there, then yeah, I'd think that they'd probably they give you a show. But then like
Uh,
if you do that, then you have to be like very good at talking to someone because
well,
I mean they're gonna crack an egg and then they're
oh
gonna put
yeah.
shrimp into your mouth and all that stuff. So
I'm gonna write. Will hibachi chefs perform for one guest?
more
Uh,
wine.
at least 7 people. All right, whatever. These people don't know what they're talking about.
Nah,
Uh,
I've been there with like freaking 3, 4 people or something. They'll do it. They'll do it
hey,
for a
buddy,
couple.
perform. But Dane, was there anything else?
If you're going to perform, perform with purpose.
I like it.
uh, I don't know. It kind of might work. If
Yeah.
you're a performance artist, perform with purpose.
Amen.
Yeah, no, just you definitely owe it to yourself to find purpose and to make sure that you're doing everything that you want to do in your life. And you also have to accept the fact that again, you're never going to achieve things and never have to maintain them ever again. You're always going to have to keep progress going, keep maintaining the things that you want to do and that you
Mm,
love to do. And that shows respect for yourself and respect for the things that you're doing.
mm.
Um,
Wow. Well
and
said.
then, yeah, I mean, you owe it to yourself.
Oh, I
So,
love that, man. That's
yeah.
so true. I don't know. I'm just thinking about fitness, but really everything. That's so true. Like the journey is never really over. But either way, Dane, was there anything else?
Nah, I think the last thing you said sums it up.
Well, that's when it's over. Ah, shoot. Well,
When you
ladies and
join
gentlemen,
the dark side,
Star Wars and Elon Musk. That's what we do. We didn't
your
talk about him. He's
your
awesome. He makes electric cars.
your purpose is to join the dark side and have your training complete.
Dude, that's awesome. All right. Well, it feels like because we're gonna be off for 2 weeks, but even though we'll see you next week, but
Yeah.
either way. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Download the Uplift, a place where when we fall, Dane and I and a guest and the ducks on my TV, we try and uplift you right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And on the way out, YouTube is going to show you either here or here a video that they think is best for you. I just set that up for all the end screens. So make sure you click that video and catch up with all of Download the Uplift content because that's what we do. We crank it out. So just remember these closing words. You're awesome and stay uplifted.
See you guys. See
This
you next week.
was Download the Uplift. Later, everybody.
Download
The Uplift.
download
The Uplift.
download.
The Uplift. All right, later, everybody.